had grown exponentially. So,
You know, I
of
just want
course,
to say, not to cut you off, I'm so in awe of having you here. I didn't even hit the live button until now. So we missed, if we could just start all over again. I'm so
sure. Oh
sorry.
my goodness. Okay, I didn't go ahead.
No,
Exactly
I'm
what
not
you
gonna play the intro or anything. No, we just started cold turkey like this. Yeah, I did not hit. I mean, I'm always doing it, but for some reason, I'm so focused on you that I didn't do it. So, our guest is Elizabeth. I want all of us to, subscribe to her channel. You see the proper spelling of it there on YouTube. Again, I want to say a kind and loving word to our family in the chat room. D Black Prophet, the letter D Black Prophet. His son was murdered this past Friday. I don't know any more about the situation, but we don't need to know more. We know the pain that he must be going through. So send out your prayers and send out a good word to D Black Prophet. Our sister Elizabeth is here. She's a travel czar. She's been many places all over the planet, more than most. So from what I can see, it has molded her. Travel changes you. Travel enlightens you. Travel expands you. You're more than just a person who travels, but it has enhanced yourself so much. And I'm hearing a little static. I don't know what that is. A little static. I don't know if it's on my end, your end. I don't know if anybody can. No, if I'm the only one hearing it, it's okay. As long as it's not voices that I'm hearing other than yours. It's okay. If nobody in the chat room hears it, and if you don't hear it, I'm okay with that. It means maybe I'm a little, I don't know. But I would love to hear.
Oh, Empress says they hear it. Let me go out and come back in to make sure.
Okay. Yeah, and it's no problem doing that. We're going to get it right. No problem.
Okay.
All right. So I'm all by myself right now. We're live. Isn't that something? But like I said, a young lady like her channel should not have the numbers that it has. It should be sky high. And she does frequent content, interesting content, diverse content. And I know that you all would be very happy. On the bottom of this actual page of LANCESCURV on YouTube, she's one of the channels that I feature. Okay. I'm not going to feature somebody I don't know or I won't say believe. It's more than belief, but I'm connected to. And so we have several who are down there. And if they're on the bottom featured as a featured channel on my page, you need to be subscribed to them. And so you are that. Exactly. If you can't do it, just go away somewhere, right? But we're talking, everything sounds good right now. Yes. And if there's any noise, whatever, we're very laid back here. We work along the glitches that are always going to happen. I mean, you're in Dubai, I'm in Accra, all these folks are listening all over the world in America. So the technology is it's good, and sometimes it pops up bad. But with yourself, what made you, or what gave you the travel bug? Where were the first places that you went to? What are your impressions of them? Because for some reason, when I spoke to different folks, I say, wow, a sister who has traveled the world. Now, we know we have many sisters who have traveled the world, but many haven't. And it's not a knock on them. Situations are different, opportunities are different. But what I also want you to answer is how you, as a melanated sister, how has the travel impacted your mind, and what has it done for you, and what could it do for others to improve them? That's 3 questions in one. I'm gonna let you flow. Hit me with it, sister. And now it froze. And the sound is kind of buffering, but that's okay. I will turn around. Yeah.
So
you're good now, but you're frozen. You're good. You're good. You're moving now too. Go ahead.
2 persons that helped to shape this, I'm going to call it travel bug. 2 persons who actually raised me like my regular parents. So I would actually, every summer, I would go on these huge family vacations. So what that did for me was give me, I'll say, the bug, the itch. And so by the time I got to undergraduate school, I was already saying, how am I going to live this fantastical life by going to all these different places? And of course, that morphed as well from reading so many books as well, because I wanted to see all of these places like Anthony Browder and Dr. Asa G. Hillard would talk about, especially on the continent of Archebulon. So that started the book. And so when I got to graduate school, I said, okay, when I leave here, what's going to be my next move? And so I started looking at opportunities immediately that were abroad. And so that's pretty much how it started. I graduated with my master's in May. I was gone to Archebulon in August.
Wow. You didn't play.
So, right. So that basically springboarded me into everything. My palate for just travel in general became insatiable. And of all the places I've been, there is nothing like home. And you may say, well, you're American. Your home is in America. No, I mean my real home where my ancestors derived from. Now, I am never going to take, it's likely that I never will take an ancestry DNA test. However, I know that I'm a melanated person, and that is where my ancestors derive from. Yeah. So that's all I need to know. I'm happy with that. So I'll say when I got to Malawi, from there, I began to, of course, always thinking about when a holiday was going to come around, so I could be traipsing across these other countries on the continent.
Right.
So
right.
I had a friend of mine as well who I went to undergraduate with at the time. She was in the Peace Corps. She had just gotten her master's as well. And she was in the Peace Corps. And so I said, I'm going to go ahead and hop on down here to South Africa. And that's pretty much like the rest is kind of like history, if you will. Right. So that just allowed me, being in Malawi allowed me, of course, to visit all the neighboring countries surrounding it. Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, like this, Botswana, South Africa, Lesotho. So fast forward to me actually leaving the continent for personal reasons. I'll say that I had the itch and still nomadic and all of that. So even when I moved to, when I left the continent, I moved to Michigan. While I was in Michigan, I started back at a secondary graduate program there. And even there, every time we would have breaks and things from work, because at that time I was teaching school, I would still travel. Now, I mean, I had friends that I went to high school with, Lance, that were in the military. And so, of course, I would visit them wherever they were stationed abroad as well. So that's pretty much how all of that came about. I never stopped traveling. There was never a time.
And because you had friends in the military, with their free ability to travel, that really probably tried to pique your interest too, because they're traveling under the umbrella of the military, but the conversation that you had with them, your various friends and contacts, had to really be something to really stir you up. And that sound is back again. You know what? If it doesn't bother anybody, it doesn't bother me. If you don't hear it, I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem.
Yeah, I don't hear it
always
right
something. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, as long as I don't hear voices, I'm okay, other than yours. So what? Okay, let me just ask you. You went to so many different places in the motherland, in other places. Which one made you feel at home the most? Each one had to have an element of feeling at home. It had to pull you. It had to be some sort of a connection. But which was the one that made you feel at home the most, and why?
Yeah, you're static now. I'm
this sound is worse.
So I'm going to come back out and come back in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to be cool, right? Like it's getting
really bad. So let me try it again.
Yeah. Let's try it again.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try it again.
We're troopers. We're going to keep doing it until we get it right. That's right. Anyway, Yeah, she is really phenomenal. And like I said, everybody who's here, and that's why I have it scrolling across the bottom, Lizabitty, and the spelling is, you know, what it is. You see it down there, Lizz. Okay, Abitty. Okay, is she here? Oh, she's coming in. Okay, we're good.
So to answer your question, well, I actually didn't answer the third part of your other question. So is, let's call it a hobby, if you will. And going to these different countries, what has always been tantamount for me is seeking myself from whence I come. Okay. So yes, I've been to, let's say, Asiatic countries, etc. I've been to Australia, I've been to New Zealand. And yes, there are indigenous people that look like you and I everywhere, even though the cradle of civilization is on Archebulon. So yes, so even going to those places and identifying with people who are of the, let's say, indigenous, again, there's still no place like home. Home being where our ancestors derive from. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I have just been a person that is just nomadic, Lance. I can't even explain it to you. I mean, I have never just sat somewhere for these long periods of time. The longest place I've lived, yeah, I'm gonna have to say Michigan. I was there straight for 5 years, and it really, as it got closer to my 5-year mark, I mean, I started getting antsy then. So what happened was, when I left there, I ended up relocating to Kuwait, and so it's just been boom, 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 boom.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, when I see people, yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what it has also taught me, being nomadic. Sure, I can appreciate other cultures, but there is nothing like our culture. We are just a dynamic group of people, and I find solitude in that. So at different times while I have been, let's say, out of the U.S. and living abroad, at no time have I never not come back to Archebulon. So yeah, I have always gone back to the continent. And the first time I was there, yes, I had intentions of staying permanently. Just because I saw a lot of need and things that I thought I could do as humanitarian, being a Black person from diaspora. However, of course, I said personal situation caused me to move. So now here I am, 20 some odd years later, and I am back to permanently relocating there. And of course, I'm older, I'm a little bit more seasoned. I'm going to stay on my square, and that is where that would be my final resting place. So travel has, again, opened my eyes up to a lot of things, especially hypocrisy.
Yes.
Especially, you know, of course, the war. And so I find myself being giving more than normal, if you will. So yeah, so there's that.
Wow. Just want to ask if everybody can hear you properly. It's buffering for me a little bit, but as long as because that happens a lot. I guess it's me being out here in a crowd where it buffers to me, but everybody's like, the sound is good. So as long as it's good for everybody, I can make out everything. And then that noise is here again. It sounds like we have a hidden speaker between the floor and there's rats eating something.
And I don't know. I don't have any devices here.
No. Yeah. You were freezing up, but as long as they can hear you, but they're saying they can't hear anything. You're freezing up. Is there a way around this? You know. I don't know. Are you on WhatsApp?
Let me ask you this. can I come off video? Maybe I do voice. Is that okay?
Yeah, maybe that'll
Right.
work. Yeah, just come off a video because it's less of a signal if you do that. Yes, let's try
Okay,
that. And it is buffering. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if she can come back on in an audio manner. You might hear some roosters and there's some kids outside playing and the windows are open. So you might hear well, now you can hear, I guess that came from her signal, from her side of things, because the sound is good for me now and everything. Let's just see. Okay. All right. Talk to me, sister. Let me hear you.
Okay, I don't know why we're having so many difficulties today. This is a mess.
Because you're so powerful, they're trying to stop you.
And I took it off of, you know what? I took it off of Wi-Fi and just put it on the phone. And I'm just wondering.
Right.
You sound fine, but I think let me go get on the laptop. That might be best.
Yes, it's no problem.
That might be best. Okay,
it's no problem.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
Okay.
Take your sweet time. All right. Yeah. So like I was saying, you know, it doesn't seem, it seems as though if we had some kind of trashy, decadent content, it wouldn't be a problem. You know how that goes. And sometimes things happen because they happen. I'm not going to say it's always somebody doing something to somebody, but it just seems that those who are rooted in things that are not put out there to ascend you mentally, spiritually, and physically have no problem whatsoever. But like I said, when these things happen, we steamroll them. If something happens where it can't go through today, we're going to come back tomorrow, the next day, so on and so forth. That's what we do. I have the determination of a roach. I will keep coming back. You can squash me. You can spray me. You could put hot water on me, but we're going to keep coming back. All right. How it is. Okay.
Okay. I am so sorry to all of your viewers.
No,
I have to be apologetic. It's yes. Okay. So you had another question. So go ahead with your next question.
My thing is, what would all of us, not just the sisters, but what would all of us, how would we benefit? Let's see, this is family talking now. So we're not throwing off on anyone, right? But travel, which I have not done a lot of, just a little bit, and I can just kick myself for not traveling more in my younger years. But not to throw off on any one of us, but I want you to tell us as a family, especially those who are in the colonized countries under that one, what benefit would it do for us? What would it give us? You know, some of us can be so narrow-minded sometimes. It's not because anything's wrong with us. It's just that we got caught up in this matrix and we think the whole world is America. We think the whole world is the UK. Even if they don't travel as much as you, what would they gain across the board from traveling, young and old?
Wow. So let me say this. That's a very good question. So everything that a person has ever read about, travel will take you there. So sure, you can go anywhere in the world in a book, but to actually put physical eyes and hands on it, it basically allows the abstract to meet the tangible. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever thought about the Taj Mahal, Mount Kilimanjaro, Table Mountain, but you only saw it in magazines or read about it in books, traveling is going to allow you to actually see it and to see if you've been lied to. So I'll say this. I don't know if you're familiar with the book called The Africans by David Lamb.
I heard of it, but never read it.
Okay. I read the book. The book, when I lived in Malawi, the book was still on the ban list. It had actually been banned, I want to say, in like 27 nations in Archebulon. And because the writer of the book told a lot of distortions about some of the leaders, most of which were dictators, this is why the book was banned. So it was banned in Malawi. So of course I read the book And I saw a lot of hypocrisy in the book. So traveling allowed me to actually see that. Now, some of the stuff in the book was true, but again, it allowed me to actually see the lies for reality.
Right, right.
I say to you, being from the West, what it also did for me, because of how our education system is set up, Lance, all of those lies, all of those, this allowed me to see the truth for myself. Just like you and I spoke, and I said to you, you know, the West educates us and tells us that everyone on our Kebulon is living in filth and poverty, and that they have droughts every year, and the kids are walking around with extended stomachs.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I got there, I didn't see that in Malawi. Now, at the time that I did get to Malawi, Lance, they were going through a hell of a drought. It was bad. So yes, people were suffering, but that happens. Droughts happen. You can't say that they had a drought from the time I was in primary school to in my 20s, and the people were still walking around starving with distended stomachs. I mean, so stop. So there again, I say, traveling allows you to take what you read in abstract and to make that intangible. And there is nothing more powerful than that, because you can have an awakening. You can have an awakening. I mean, I had an awakening as a young adult about all the hypocrisy coming from the West. It blew my mind. I mean,
okay, I don't know if you blanked out for a second, for a few moments. See, you blanked out. You might still be talking, but if you can hear me, we can't hear you except for a glitch every now and then. Wow. You know what? I'm not sure if it's my service, but yeah, she fell off for a second. I got another backup service right here. I got MTN right here. And I'm going to sample it out and test it out. Yes, you're back. You're back.
I'm not sure, you know, and maybe because today starts.
It could be me.
Today starts the week here.
Okay, let's try it another way. I don't know if you have WhatsApp and you can call me on WhatsApp, and I can pipe your sound through, and then we'll deal with WhatsApp if that's possible. You know, I don't know if that's possible from your side. I'm not even hearing you right now. I'm just hearing the beep, bump, 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 bump. And even if we had to actually record a conversation, okay, I have your number now. Let me try to give you a call through WhatsApp, and we'll see how this goes. Okay. Put the phone number in. Just give me or she's gonna call me. I think she said give me 10 seconds. So okay, she's ready now. Okay, let me put in the number. Sorry, folks. This is how we're doing it organically, and it's real out here in these streets. Put this here. Save as a contact. Now call. Okay, let's see.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Let's see if there's any glitches or anything. I'm going to depend on everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to depend on everybody who is in the chat room who can hear us, because that's the most important end of, you know, this exchange. Okay, we're connected, and I'm going to probably remove you from the actual stream because you're piped in now on the phone.
Okay, that's fine. Fine.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to do it that way. Now you're still on. I removed you, but you're still on. So talk to me. Let me hear you.
Okay. So that's pretty much what traveling did for me. And I feel that that could actually be facilitated, Lance, for everyone, because again, you're bringing everything that you ever read about to life. Right. Everything is coming to life.
And it hits you. Nobody can lie to you after that. It changes your walk. You know, like I said, I don't have the experiences that you have, and I want your face on the screen, so I'm going to switch banners. People know what I look like. So, yeah. Yeah, it's better that way, right? We can still see you, so we still have the sound coming in. So I'll just depend on, you know, our family in the chat room to, you know, let us know how the sound goes. And like I said, I'm going to work on that because I have some backup internet over here that I think is actually better, but I don't know where it's coming from. It could be anywhere in between. But like I said, for me, even coming here to Accra, it's the beginning for me because I'm going to travel all over this continent. And there are opportunities for me. People have been reaching out, Brother Kwaku and I. And I'm just so glad at this particular junction point in my life that we have connected, because I know I will be picking your brain, and I got the bug also. And we need to think beyond those mental boundaries that the colonizer has put on our brain. And, you know, when you say that you see the hypocrisy with time in your life, it must really have you very agitated, to say the least, when you see it. What are the things that you do in your everyday life and in your travels when you deal with the hypocrisy, when you deal with the ignorance? And I know you're going to get it too, because you have a YouTube channel. And again, I want everybody to subscribe to you, Elizabeth, and you'll see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But I get the comments of people who are like telling me how bad it is. I'm here seeing it and in it, and they're telling me how bad it is. Have you gotten that? I mean, a defiant challenge that, no, you're lying, but you're here, you've traveled and you've seen it. Have you had experiences that way?
Of course I did. Of course I did.
Please share. Please
even
share.
When I first, sure. Even when I first moved to Malawi, I mean, I journaled a lot. And one of the things that I journaled a lot about was the mere fact that the 2520s always sent their kids to Europe. Whereas to get their cultural identity or learn something about their history, versus us as Blacks in the diaspora, we were not sending our kids to Akebulon. We weren't doing that, where the children could actually learn about from whence they come. So I would get a lot of backlash for that, where they don't even like us. Well, see, my contention is this, especially now that I've set foot in so many of the countries on the continent.
Yes.
You can't tell me anything about it unless you've been there.
There you go.
Okay. So all the people who are saying to you, and you're living there now,
yes,
and they're trying to tell you about Ghana, and they have never set foot there, I got issue with that. Because they will be the same persons to say to you, Lance, don't judge a book by its cover. Right? So I am not of the auspices that what they are saying is valid, because they are not giving you any reason to say why they're saying that.
Right.
If they haven't been there. So yes, I experienced that. I experienced that firsthand, and of course, it was daunting, you know. And you don't want to I was younger, I wouldn't isolate people, but if I experienced some of the same type of rhetoric that I experienced 20 some odd years ago, nah, I mean, I have a different vernacular for, I'll say that, okay?
I love the way you
That's
put
what I'm
that.
gonna say to you.
I may not be as advanced as you in that department because sometimes some words just fly out of my mouth. The ignorance can be daunting. And my thing is that we have educators across the planet, across the globe, who have traveled, but it's like they're on code where they don't say anything. We have the media who has traveled, you know, in America, in the UK, but they don't say anything when these things go by. In the school systems, you know, it wouldn't be a good thing if I can take a time machine and go back to some of the teachers that I've had in elementary school, middle school, and high school, because, you know, they straight out lied. And it's like, how do you feel? Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but do you think, well, I mean, I know you got to know this is by design, but how deep do you think this thing goes as far as spreading the propaganda against us as melanated people and in our motherland and the whole entire system? How do you feel about that? What's your perspective at this point in your life?
But Lance, it goes deep because it's ingrained within our education system.
Yes. Yes.
So again, as I said to you, you were so lucky to have the kind of parents that you had who were already very aware.
Yes.
And so they ingrained in you the truth.
That's right.
Whereas imagine millions of us, we didn't have that. Even if our parents went to school, meaning higher education, they still didn't have that because they are under the auspices. Well, this is, they're going to go with the status quo, if you will. So the reason why it is as promulgated as it has been is because of the school system.
That's right.
Think about a lot of the parents too that are not engaged in their children's academics. So when the kid comes home, the kid has homework or whatever, and even though there's some distortions of the truth, the parents are not correcting that immediately, even though they may have lived through some of the stuff.
Yes.
I.e., an example, maybe your parents lived through the civil rights movement, and then your kid is studying that, and then they got a lot of propaganda in there, and your parent lived through it, and then they know what's in the book is not accurate. So again, the only reasons that it is still being perpetuated as it is in the West is because it's indoctrinated in public school. And so the flip side of that is our brothers and sisters on the continent, and you're there living right now.
Yes.
They are not being told the truth as well.
Yeah.
They're getting all of these ideas and dreams of grandeur, that how they think that we live in the West, and it's just not the truth. You know, some of them think that we're sitting around toting AKs and everybody's just rappers, while others think that everybody is rich.
Right.
Now realizing that we have a level of poverty in America as well. So it's an endless cycle until the education system changes, or unless everyone's parents get like yours. That's all I can say. Hats off to mom and dad, Lance. Unless they get like yours and, you know, educate their children like that. Educate their children the same way that your parents opened you up.
Yes.
And see, you grew up in a time in New York when a lot of Blacks, you could actually call it like the second Renaissance, if you will, Black Renaissance.
Yes. I love
with all of the art and all of the militants of our people because of what was happening to us in the South.
Yes.
And so all of that, I mean, I wish I could have been going up there, but you know, I probably wouldn't be here to tell this story because they would have killed me too. I'd be killed too. I got a big mouth. I got a big mouth. I'm not even gonna lie about that.
I love you for it. No, I love you for it. No, for real, I love you for it because, you know, the worst thing is to see something, a challenge, a problem, whatever you want to call it, and you go to rectify it, whichever by any means necessary. You turn around and everybody else is looking at you stupid, like, why are you this troublemaker? But you're not making trouble. We need people like you. We need people like others who have come on this show. We need Brother Quaker. We need everybody like that in different degrees. Even if you're not saying anything, but you're the one back there who's pushing the buttons or making something or hooking up somebody in a certain way for the movement, because it really hurts me right now. It really brings me to tears. I'm very, very lonely right now in this world for that time to come back. I cannot believe that I'm seeing the level of ignorance that we see right now. I'm rooted in that time. I remember the Nation of Islam originally. Yes, I may not even agree with everything they say, but I remember that time, and they wouldn't throw off on the church ladies. They'd hold the doors for them. They made sure that everything was safe. Even the dudes who shot heroin took their hats off and showed up at the funeral, even if they had a used suit that was lime green and dirty. They showed up and showed respect. The neighborhood, the communities there in Harlem and Washington Heights, I miss the camaraderie. It put a glow in my heart. This is your interview. I'm going to shut up, but I have to say that. And you remind me of that. And many here in the chat room remind me of that. No, seriously, that's what this means so much to me, because you're a precious find. I get so many dumb comments in the comment section. Yes, we don't always have to agree, but straight up dumb. Why? How is it that we got dumbed down? Well, there's so much evidence of us hands-on. Even I didn't have to travel. I was in New York City. My father raised me. My mother raised me a certain way. How did we become, Elizabeth, so dumb as a people? Please tell me. Explain this to me. I'm in the dark on this.
Well, so there's something to be said about things being hidden in books. So we have to separate two things here. The first part being that public school books would often contradict books that were written by private citizens, if you will. So let's say your parents had wrote a book about some things, their history would be in direct contrast to what was being taught in public schools. So that's actually how this, let's say, debacle or this mess came about. Because a person would read, let's say, from a school book, and then they would come back and they would read a book by a private person who's done some research. Maybe they got, a PhD in history or whatever, and it would not even mesh. So, you can hide things in books.
Yeah, and they're sure trying to hide the truth on this one today. And you hear WhatsApp trying to reconnect. If the reconnection is not successful, I will definitely call her back.
Okay, that's okay. I'm here.
Okay, good.
It's gonna go. I'm here.
Yes.
So
go ahead.
I'm just saying so that we can hide our true history in these books. I believe that. So that's pretty much what's going on. You keep people and you keep everyone deluded and dumb by writing books, because a lot of Black persons don't like to read. Now that's just the facts. That is just the facts.
Yes, indeed.
So it takes an aware person to say, hey, why are they putting all this propaganda in public school? Well, you know why they put it in public school, to keep you asleep.
That's right.
The minute you decide to wake up, you're a problem. It's just like remember, Malcolm X got his awakening in prison when he started reading the dictionary, and then from that promulgated other books. So he became a voracious reader and put all of this together. But what eventually happened for him, Lance, is that when he started traveling abroad, he started seeing things differently. So as I just said, we have gone from the abstract to the tangible. And that gave him a new lease on life and a new way of thinking. Remember, his ideologies began to change as he began to go abroad.
Yes.
So, that's true. That's reality.
It's a beautiful thing. So it's amazing how, not to me, because I feel your energy, but to possibly many who have seen you travel abroad in such an extensive fashion, to still be the core you who never forgot who you are and where you came from and where you come from, meaning your homeland. How is it that some people?
But I have,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, how is it that
Well, I
some
was
people?
going to say, but that came about. They came about for me though, Lance, later. Like I should have, even though I had read a lot of different books. Like I kind of got to college and I became very militant. I went to an HBCU, and yeah, I became disillusioned with a lot of stuff, a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I challenged religion, I challenged everything. And of course, challenging that caused dissension in the family because now you're talking crazy.
Yeah, you're not.
And that's just not the case. You know, I wasn't crazy,
right.
But at the same time, that's what I was being purported to be because I was not following quote unquote status quo. So at that point of being 18, I mean, my life took on a radical change. I cut all of my hair off and started wearing my hair natural. I started rebuking the church because I began to read more books about the propaganda of the church. So I tried Islam, and that didn't work for me either. None of the organized religions worked for me. It wasn't until I started to read about African traditional religion that I understood things. And at times, I have to admit to you, at times I would be tugged back into Christianity because of family, because of being ostracized. So, you know, Lance, as you get older and develop, your your BS meter becomes a bit more shorter and shorter. Like when you're in your 20s, you got a real tall height of stuff that you probably would take.
Right. But
as you get older, you're like, I'm not taking this
None
mess
of it.
anymore.
Zero tolerance.
So exactly. So my BS meter, in terms of people accepting me for being, I call myself egocentric and a phenomenon because I recognize I'm not part of the status quo.
Right.
So my meter began to shrink. So yeah, I cuss an EMF out in a matter of 2 to 3 seconds. Okay.
I love it.
So yeah, I don't care if you care about me not practicing Christianity, you can keep you can keep all your organized religion. I don't care nothing about that mess. I don't.
Exactly.
What I care about is being fair to your fellow man, especially to people that look like me.
Beautiful.
Not, you know, robbing and stealing and doing all of this stuff to melanated people. That's what I care about. Now, if it has to be placed in a religion, you pick it, you choose it, and you put it there. I'm not going to pick any of that. But I believe in law of karma. You're going to get what you put out.
Yes.
So if you're doing wrong, you're going to get it back. I can't say when. I don't know how.
Right.
But it's coming back.
It's coming
with a vengeance.
That's
so
right.
that's pretty much how I lived it.
That's amazing. But you know, taking the stances that you have, wow, I think it's going to reconnect again. But when she's in there, it's loud and clear. So this is much better than the buffering on the other. Yes, you're back. Right?
Yeah,
it's okay.
I'm back.
Yeah.
So so all of that has defined who I am as a person today. There are certain things that I am uncompromising about, and there's certain things I'm more tolerant of. But just the traveling in itself, again, it gave me my awakening, just as it gave Malcolm X his awakening. And people should think about that as when they read about his life, follow his journey, you will see how his progression began to change once he got to see people differently.
Yes.
And so there you have it. That's pretty much it. I'm so sorry about these songs. Next time we'll have to do it in the middle of the day like last time.
Exactly.
This is a mess. I just hate it for your viewers.
But but it's okay. They understand your spirit. They know where your channel is. They're going to be flooding you and subscribing. And like I said, I have it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. And I want them to go to your channel, Elizabeth, and subscribe. You know, your work ethic,
Well, thank you.
I have to say, I'm like, wait a second. You know, it's almost like driving down the highway 80 miles an hour. Everybody else is going slow. And all of a sudden you see a car next to you that's keeping up with you. Now, this is not a race between you and I. It's just nice to see that there's somebody who has that sense of urgency to put out content like you do. It's like, I really appreciate it. I keep coming back to your channel. I'm like, man, she put up 2 or 3 more things. You know what I mean? We're both doing it. And I love that. You know what I mean? And it's clean burning fuel.
Yes.
It's nothing venomous. It's nothing heavy. It's nothing bad. It's all good. It's refreshing. And like I said, you are a throwback to a time that seems to be long lost. Do you think or feel or know that Renaissance period that I grew up in, that time that I grew up in, that you know well of, I know it will come back, but right now it seems and appears like it's not coming back anytime soon. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to say this. I don't necessarily think it'll. So that's 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
Let me back it up. 2 parts to that. The first being, there'll be a period where these millennials will grab hold and say what they are and what they are not going to take. You have to keep in mind that they are not our ancestors who would sit by and be quiet and take abuse, etc., etc., etc. So it's likely that you would have it with the millennials at some point. Now, in terms of people within your age group and my age group, the people who are actually being traversed in that, okay, I am going to put myself from the diaspora and go back to Alkebulon, there's going to be a period like yourself. So think about your craft, you know, being a comic, writing comics, drawing comics, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What you're going to have is a resurgence in the sense that you can give that skills as apprenticeships to younger folk. So all of the stuff we garnered per se as hobbies and things like that, be it music, dance concepts, drawing, writing, like creative writing, fine arts. Sure, there is going to be an insurgence of that with Blacks that are coming from the diaspora. Yes. It is. Yes. Because keep in mind, Lance, when the Democrats decided to usher in all of this freaking immigration mess, and yes, they did it, okay, they took out of public school fine arts. And a lot of us, melanated people, we were in school and we had fine arts, be it you were in an art class or you were in a music or dance class. So all of that per se, that skill set is gone. However, as people coming back from the diaspora, we can take that with us to the continent. And yes, they have their own ways of doing things, but all of that can be meshed. All of that can be meshed by doing collectivism. We have to be collective in that. So you're absolutely correct. But it's 2 parts to it. The millennials, as well as the people who are going to be going back to from whence we cometh.
Right. And that connection. So true. It's refreshing to be here in Accra, in Ghana, and to see the level of respect that many have for each other. And I was watching the footage that I put up last night, because, you know, if I run to the market, run here, run there, I want to show regular common life, like just going to the store, taking a ride in a cab. You know, we have all the other things and monuments and museums and different places. That's wonderful, but I want to show people how we're not regular as a people, but I want to show how, wow, you know, let it register when they see people living and thriving, but no fighting, no profanity. You don't hardly see anybody smoking out here. You know what I mean? And I'm just so glad for us to see that, but I wish we would come back into our own and abandon the Eurocentric only mentality. And it seems that those of us who have some advantage in a particular area of expertise or with an education, the other thing comes along and mars that and keeps us from reaching out to help our own abroad. You know what I mean? And what can we do to our own who do come from the colonized parts of the world, but who do have a skill set, who do have an education, but refuse to help their own people? What can we do to get to them to say, hey, we are one, you're not better than anybody else. We need to help our brothers and sisters who need these skills that you have.
Well, I say this. You know, I told you when you and I spoke the last time. I mean, there's some people that we don't need coming over because some of us are just not ready.
Tell it.
To embark. Some of us are not ready to embark on newness in the sense that America was once an undeveloped country. Chattel slavery brought her out of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when these people come over and they want to complain about this, that, and the third, or they want to go on down to South Africa and Botswana, Namibia, well, go on down there. Or don't come at all. Because we want people who are coming to build. We want people who are coming to build. And in building, we want you to be collective about your building. Don't come over here and just take like everyone else. That's what they're doing now with the Race for Africa. What we currently have, Lance, is a resurgence of the Berlin Conference of 1878. Okay, this is all over again. Well, Mother Alkebulon is being chopped up with a few added players for everyone to begin to take all over again. As you know, think about land in this sense as a parent. So regeneration. Mm-hmm. A parent regenerates by making a child. Okay, well, that's the same with Earth. Earth. She basically regenerates herself. And she's doing that while you see all of these new explorations of finding oil and all of this on the continent. You're finding more bauxite and manganese in Ghana than ever before. Yeah. Again, mm-hmm. Mother Earth is replenishing herself. And now these people are like scavengers on the hunt for all the taking. So I say, we don't want people coming to take. We want you to come to build. And don't come over here complaining about they don't have this, that, and the third.
For real.
What do you think the place you come from used to look like? I mean, that just, it really boggles my mind. Now, granted, I recognize this. I recognize that I am a single person, okay? I do not have any children. So my lifestyle and how I am willing to live is vastly different than a person with children. I got all that. Right. Get it. However, children are resilient.
Very much.
They're resilient. They will make amends for what need to be. It is up to the parents to foster and nurture the new environment. These parents want all of this stuff, the comforts of the Western world, and knowing that the countries are not developed as the Western world. So do something about it.
That's right.
Do something about it.
And then
stop all of the complaining. Mm-hmm. You know, it's heart-wrenching. It really is.
Yes. And in doing something about it, the elevation can come quick, because as I travel through Accra and surrounding areas, and eventually different countries on the continent, all I'm seeing is building, improvement, people pushing. Yes, we understand that there's a greed factor, that many that may come here think that, well, you know, this is where I come from and I'm going to live this same way and I'm going to extract and exploit. You're so right. And the sad part about it is, and I have to say this part, that there are many from Ghana who go and get intoxicated with the spoils of the UK or America as it stands now, because it's not going to be forever, and come back and treat those who are here, who are their brothers and sisters that they grew up with, they treat them like they're less. And there are many here who accept that because they have it in their mind that once you lay down with America and once you lay down with the UK, you're some way, it's somehow superior. And that thing runs so deep and it really irks me. Brother Quaker and I were walking down the street and we spoke to a couple of brothers. Some of them just looked at us and didn't say anything at all. And, you know, and I said, well, why do you think that is? It's like, well, you know, a lot of them have been trained to feel as though they're not anything unless, you know, you're not, this is the thing. Did you go through the same shock when you didn't get the same conscious brother and sister? You know, there's some who are welcome home, but many, they're just caught up in one day when I go to the UK and one day when I go to America. What has been your experience across the continent with that mindset?
So I'll say this. I have been the Creator and the ancestors have been vigilant for me in terms of the times that I have traveled on the continent to align me with good people. And so in my immediate circle of the people that I've met,
yes,
in the midst of my travels, I can't say I've experienced that. However, I know that that exists.
Right.
I know that it exists. And again, I want us to be mindful of what's actually happening all over again. A take mentality.
Yes.
So I don't want people to make this trek, or like you said, they want all the comforts of the West and all of this. The funny thing is that even the African countries that have, let's say, stars, okay, people who are famous, be it music or, you know, actresses and actors in Nollywood, etc. They don't get to have all of these extra comforts. A lot of them fly out elsewhere to get those comforts.
Right.
So I say that. So some of the comforts, they need to leave them where they are. There's certain things we just don't need.
And then
there's a lot of stuff that we just don't need.
Exactly. They're not really comforts.
But because we are used to stuff, Lance.
Yes.
But because we're used and we are, as Westerners, we are very, what is the word I want to use?
Entitled.
Entitled, spoiled.
Spoiled, of course.
Just all of that. And so just because you are used to getting things doesn't mean you're going to have those. And then if you say, okay, well, I want to stay here, but I need to have this, well, create it.
Exactly.
There's always an avenue for you to create.
Opportunity. Exactly.
Yes.
And
yes.
For me, it's shaved off some of what you would say are the comforts that really, who wants to really be in a comfort zone all the time? You know, for me, like I said, I don't grow in the comfort zone. I grow when I step out of it. It's okay to have a nice bed to lay on and have a level where, you know, you can control it, but I usually shun it. I like the hard way. I like the tough way. I like the way that's going to make me grow. I want to experience certain things. And of course, you have many creature comforts here. Granted, I'm not in the woods. And I really do want to be in the woods. You know what I mean? But you know,
I totally agree with you. But
yes.
So keep this in mind, Lance. You have approximately 82 million Blacks in the diaspora in Brazil. Wow. There's approximately 43 million of us in the US. So even though Brazil has more, the talent pool of Blacks in the diaspora are going to come from the United States of America. So just imagine if you, I'm gonna go lowball, Lance, lowball. If you only took 11% of the 43 million, 11%, and I'm going lowball, okay? And took that talent and put it on the continent, okay? And it's spread throughout the 54 nations.
Yes.
Could you imagine how us coming back, because we have the education and the skills?
Yes.
What we could do on the continent?
Wow.
The West cannot allow that. So there are going to be things that are put in place to hinder some of us from achieving that goal, because that's what the ultimate goal is. And so if you talk about Pan-Africanism, I don't necessarily put titles on everything. I don't necessarily do that. Necessarily do that. But that is a part of Pan-Africanism. However, in that 11% of the 43 million, whatever that number is, you're going to find yourself with probably 2% that should have stayed there, you know what's back in America. Because they're going to be doing a part of that, what you're talking about.
Yes.
A few seconds ago.
But of course, you're right.
So even though we will rise up, you know, I always quote the history of the uprising of AT, okay? And what the Asians did, and I got to say it, what they did to coons. Coons. You either with us or you against us.
And you know they're not really with us.
And if you against us, we cannot have you usurping our program. So basically, they got it how they live. So I'm saying that small percentage, we don't need them messing up the program. Because really, Lance, just think about what could truly be with 11% of 43 million people. And someone put it in the chat. Raw Reality said that's 4.7 million people. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. When having a purpose.
Spread across 54 nations. Lance, that's serious.
Wow.
Do you know what? We would run all of these people who are trying to make the Berlin conference all over again up out of it. They wouldn't be able to handle that.
That's right.
No, real talk. And it wouldn't be a force of power at how we do it. It's as basic as you being a black man and Lance said, nobody is going to disrespect me because I'm a king.
That's right.
And kings are not going to be talked to the way that y'all talk to people back in the West and in these communities, because you're not going to tolerate that from them.
That's right.
So you would stop them even before you have to pimp slap it. You would stop it first with just by saying, I'm not even taking this foolishness from you.
Exactly.
So if you imagine that many people on a continent who's doing the same thing, I mean, it could be so beautiful. And you know, I may not be on planet Earth when it's happening. I may go to the great beyond. But at some point it's going to happen. But what I want to happen, I don't want it to happen 20 and 30 years into the future, because the pilferaging is happening now. The cannibalization is happening now. It's happening now. So, you know, we do have problems in the diaspora, and I don't want to minimize those as well.
Right.
However, some of the things that we harp on are really minor when you compare it to other things. Okay? Just think about this, Lance. Seriously. If the Congo right now, it's a Congo, to say from this day forward, we will not be issuing any more cobalt. From today forward, October 25th, 2020. Do you understand what that would mean? Do you understand how many Western corporations would be decimated? Seriously. If they say it right now, we done. If you come in here and you want this cobalt, we got some stipulations for you.
That's right.
You either gonna buy in or you can get on up the road and go find it elsewhere.
Beautiful thing.
If we became a stronghold as such, I'm telling you, and the West does not want that, because as I said, we just with basic words and actions can turn everything all around in one swoop. Could you imagine you going to the Congo and you telling the brothers and sisters about relishing what they have? And if you're going to give up some of these resources, this is what you do and how you do it to get more for X, Y, and Z. Could you imagine that? I'm serious. Could you imagine that?
That would be a beautiful day.
And the West is afraid that Lance would do that. The West is afraid that Lance will do that. So I would have to keep you separate. And then again, as I said, of that 11%, and the guy quoted, he said it was 4.7 million. I said you're going to have 2% who are going to be on that coon train. because they'll be trying to come behind you and say, Lance, don't be telling them that we can get more money, this, that, and the third.
Yes.
Listen, we're not doing that. So shutting down cobalt right now would decimate hundreds and hundreds of companies. People don't realize that. See, the Congo does not understand what they have.
True.
They don't.
True.
That's just facts. Because if they did, they could recognize how they could stop a lot of the mess that's going on. Same with Sierra Leone and things, natural resources that they have. We can really use our muscle without having weapons. You got me?
So true. That's a heck of a thought. I'm sitting here like,
See, Robbie, I would say, yeah, if the Congo would held their cobalt, they would shut down the whole world. Of course they would. Of course they would. The companies would go first, and then the world outside of the continent. But those companies would fall first. Definitely. Yes. Definitely.
Wow. But
I mean, it's powerful.
What should we do to get rid of or move out of position these so-called political leaders who are in place and who are compromising the people of the various countries in the motherland? Because, it seems to be such a stronghold. There are secret societies here. There are groups. There are allegiances. There are people who have an undying, how can I put it? Allegiance to some greater cause that doesn't do anything for us on a greater level. It's their own little circle that they serve. I've spoken to many here who are on political levels and did interviews, as far as verbal interviews, that they wouldn't really say things on the camera, but they told me how tight these circles are. And I don't believe it's anything to fear, but it's like a knot that we have to untie. Will time take care of that? Or if we have to do some aggression, what is it that we must do to take the power back to the people?
So I'll say, you may say, well, how do we get some of these leaders control? They are still out there. Okay. The truth of the matter is that so you have to think about this. How many billions of people are on the continent right now, Lance? And of that percentage, there is a certain population of youth. And as I said before, the youth are not going to accept what these elders who have been in power with this status quo and keeping all of this wealth and things for themselves. They're not going to tolerate this. And so what you're going to find is it's going to be revolutionary. And one of my favorite personal phrases is that every revolution has casualties. Yes. So I don't want to hear about what did this many folks perish and all this. There has never been a time in recorded history where revolution did not occur and everybody came out unscathed.
Tell it.
It is called mathematics. So the youth are going to be the ones who are going to fix it because they're going to get tired. And they're not going to be like people who will just say, okay, I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to keep on getting on to get along. So that's how that's going to work.
Right.
That's how that's going to work. And I recognize that those particular folks are being put in power by Western society so they can be puppets. I mean, Lance.
Yes.
Let's have a real conversation right here tonight.
Oh, let's do it.
It's Sunday night. Let's have a real conversation.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So let's think about Muammar Gaddafi. Okay. Could you imagine he was allowed to continue to breathe on planet Earth and basically come up with the currency that they were going to be backed up by all of the African nations together, how they would eliminate the West, and the West couldn't make money. First, France would fall first. Because if you remember, I don't know if you're familiar with this. When I was in Malawi at the time back in starting in 1999, all of the telecom services, in order to call internationally, being routed through France. So imagine the kickbacks of millions of telephone calls, millions, that were being ran through France and then going elsewhere, and the kind of money they were making. So if Muammar Gaddafi was able to, if he was able to do what he had set out to do, France would have fallen. France would have been the first one to fall.
Yep.
They would have failed first.
Face first.
So, I mean, the unity was coming. And so I'm saying to you, these transplants that are currently in place, they call transplants because the West wants these puppets in place so they can say, okay, well, you do it this way or you won't get this, that, and the third. And they are so greedy that they'll take it instead of saying, I have an allegiance to the people that look like me. I was telling a friend of mine yesterday that came over for lunch. We sit and talk all the time. We talk for hours, Lance.
Wow.
And she and I were talking, and I was saying to her, when you look in the mirror every day, there has to come a time when you look in the mirror and you say, my allegiance is to the persons that look like me.
Yes.
Now, whatever fosters that, whatever chain of events happen for you to get to that point, that's of no consequence, but at least you've gotten there. So those particular leaders have not gotten it. They haven't. They haven't. Because if they had, they would recognize how they are the most powerful thing on earth. You only have one continent in the world that has every natural resource known to man. Her name is Akebulon. That's her name.
That's right.
She's brilliant. She's powerful. The people that came out of ancient Kemet, people are still trying to wonder and figure out. It's only conjecture as to how they built the pyramids, these ancient artifacts and things that are so huge, and they had no equipment. They're wondering how all of this came about. With no equipment and no electricity, how we're doing things today.
That's right.
Which what I'm saying is we come from a lineage of brilliance. The problem is that most of us don't see that. We don't see that brilliance in ourselves. And so a lot of us are easily to be puppets for the West because we don't see the brilliance that we see when we look in the mirror.
That we have it all.
So looking in the mirror, being honest with yourself every day and saying that I am only for the man that looks like me. Not necessarily your skin folk, the real people.
Right.
The real folk.
That's right.
Not these folks going to get tans, pretending the real people.
Exactly.
When you decide that that's where your allegiance is, us as a whole, we will be better off. We're better off.
No doubt.
You know, so that's how you stop that, Lance.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the West got these puppets. Gaddafi was the truth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gaddafi was the truth. They can talk about him all they want to. Okay. But truth of the matter is the man was the truth. I mean, seriously.
No doubt
and Robert
about that.
Mugabe was the truth too. They sat up and notice something, Lance. Notice this. And you're a little bit older than me, but notice this. Mm-hmm. Every time a Black man rises and he has ideas about how to pull out his people from servitude, what happens to him? What happens to him, Lance?
Snuffed out. Snuffed out.
Exactly.
The propaganda machine turns and you know, that happens before. And if he keeps on going, they just snuff him out.
Exactly. So then obviously someone outside of you and I thinks that melanated people are great.
Of course they do.
And then when they get together, they're going to be hell to pay. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you have outsiders thinking that about us. Why aren't we thinking that about us as a whole? No, real talk. Real talk, Lance.
And we fight against each other. And you have, like I said, that coon patrol that works really hard. They work really hard. But all those factions, I say, they can't stop us. They cannot stop us. We have the universe behind us. We you know, righteousness and truth and you know, the scales have been tipped against us artificially for so long. So much has been done. You know, people talk about the balance in nature on a physical level. There's a balance in nature on a spiritual level, on a moral level. And too many of us are afraid to man those stations to bring it in. It should be flooding in now. It's like when you bring a child a little earlier into the world and you induce labor. We're long overdue and we are still afraid to induce justice. So those of us, like I say, in whichever way I can give my life completely, in a smart way. I'm not going to sit here and just say, I'm going to run in somewhere and do something to somebody, whatever. If it requires that to defend myself, my people, fine. But I'm going to be shrewd with it. But you have to give all of your energies to it. And this is why, like I say, from your point of view, traveling and the education and how you break things down so wonderfully, you're a threat. But if enough of us open our mouths up, what are they going to do? Just wipe out everybody? You can't do that. Some of us will go.
Well, the truth of the matter is, yes, but the truth of the matter is, see, sure, let's say 20 years ago, I may have been afraid to die. Mm-hmm. That isn't the case anymore.
Right.
You see, we all have to come to grips with our own mortality.
Yes.
Even though it is inevitable. You are born to leave the earth. That is just how it works. Mm-hmm. So in saying that, you're right. We're not saying, okay, just go out here and be wrecked, because psychological games have won many awards. When I make you think something that didn't really occur in blase, 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 blah. So yes, traveling has manufactured in me, again, as I said, the hypocrisy that I've seen I'm gonna give you an example. And I hadn't even shared this on my channel in one of my story times yet, but it was coming up. So when I first got to Malawi, as you know, malaria is just like the flu in America. See, people talk about, you're gonna get malaria, and well, y'all, people getting the flu in America and they dying.
Exactly.
I had a coworker that died from the flu.
I had malaria last year. I had malaria. I had it on my last trip. I went home and had malaria. Yeah.
But Lance, I ain't the person to be trying to educate you on your stupidity. That's what I ain't finna do.
Right, right.
Somebody else can teach that. I'm done with that. I'm done. If I'm teaching children who need that guidance from me. I ain't got time to be going back and forth with these adults about idiocy. I just don't. So in saying that, when I got there, it was actually rainy season. And you know that mosquitoes come out after a rain.
Right,
okay.
Right.
All these people getting malaria, they go to the different clinics and different dispensing sites to get malaria medication.
Right.
So what I discovered, as well as with a colleague of mine, is that the West, what they were doing was, they say, we're going to give Lance something. We're going to give him some meds and stuff. Mm-hmm. What they were doing was giving out expired medication. Oh, wow. So basically, the American lives were better than the Malawian lives. First of all, them are Zulus. Y'all lives not better than the Zulus. I'm sorry. This is the warrior class over here, okay? But I see what you're doing, because you're trying to wipe folk out.
Right.
So if you recall, I said earlier, I became really disillusioned by the West doing stuff like that, because I just could not. I'm not going to say I was green, because I read a lot, but at the same time, I didn't understand how blatant it was. Yeah, and it played on my psyche as a young person, because I didn't have the skills that I have now to deal with that. But yes, they were basically pumping in old medicines and giving it to them.
Wow.
And in some of those people's eyes, well, it's better than nothing. And I'm saying to myself, do you not understand? They wouldn't give that to me. And I'm an American. But they're going to give it to you. Mm-hmm. And I don't see your life or my life being better than yours and vice versa. They were not receptive to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then I'm looking at some of these folks who work in like different NGOs promulgating this. And Lance, I'm just telling you, it just really, it rubbed me just the wrong way.
I can imagine.
A lot of times my outlet was the love that I found in Malawi, because at different times, I'm telling you, I mean, in my journal writings, people could tell how upset and angry I was, because I would be talking about all of this stuff, amongst other things. So yeah. So this is a small taste of some of the things that the people in power allow to go on. Because think about it. When you're sending in mass shipments, that has to be cleared some kind of way. So you're clearing this stuff and you're just letting it flow on into your people. So again, a lot of the people have not gotten to the point in their lives where they look in the mirror and say where their allegiance is. They haven't gotten there yet. But what's going to happen is time at some point is not going to allow you to keep waiting for that.
That's right.
You're going to be moved either voluntarily or involuntarily. It's going to be your choice.
Wow.
And that's just how it's going to be.
That's right. The pendulum has to swing the other way.
Traveling allowed me. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the pendulum has to swing the other way sooner or later. And the longer it takes.
No, it is.
Yeah. The more severe it is. And it's coming to steamroll.
Lance, I tell you, at some point, I'll give you another example. I've been to Australia twice, and the first time I went, we were able to actually go and visit with some Aboriginals only because of a connection.
Right.
Because a lot of times I don't like doing tourist stuff with touristy people. I want to go out on my own and see my own stuff, because I don't want you around here trying to show me and sugarcoat mess. I need to see it for my own.
That's right.
Okay. So, and a lot of them, they were receptive and they were honest about what's going on and how the Australian government is oppressing them continuously. They tell them one thing and they pretend like they're doing it by half-stepping what they said they were going to do, and then come back and then, so let's say I give you this, but then you come back and add on, well, I'm going to double tax you on this. And so the people is to keep the people from saying, well, why are you complaining? They gave you X, Y, and Z. Yeah, but when they gave it, did they tell you they added extra stipulations on it? No, they didn't. All they told you was, I'm giving you X.
Right.
But they didn't tell you they was taking Y and Z. Yeah. So again, in instances like that, I mean, I just all around traveling allowed me just to see how these people, they are just not with it. If you are not of the Caucasoid persuasion, they don't even consider you to be human.
Exactly.
When the facts of the matter, their own researchers have said how powerful my ancestors are. Their own researchers. But they're afraid of that.
Yes. And they're afraid of the,
because as I just said to you, the awakening of the people, because some of us know that, Lance. Some of us know that. But as a whole, masses as a whole agree. Masses as a whole, I totally agree. Yes, they are afraid of that. But we have to, again, that 4.7 million, as your one of your viewers said, I mean, that's powerful. You have a country like the Gambia that doesn't even have 4.7 million people. So could you imagine? Could you imagine?
What a flood, what a righteous tsunami that would be.
The talent pool. No, seriously, the talent pool.
Yes.
I think about, like, I just have this love, like, for, Nigerians and how resilient and smart. They are so smart.
Yes.
They got some of the best engineers in the world.
Of course.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine And it always kills me how they bring in these Chinese companies to build bridges. Are you insane?
I don't understand.
The engineers sit in Nigeria.
I don't understand that.
The engineers are in Nigeria. I'm just like, somebody, listen, again, I would have been snuffed out during the civil rights era. Okay. Because again, my mouth is too big and I've been telling it like a TI is, because that's insane. Why are you bringing in these people when the talent pool is sitting right here with 200+ million people?
True.
It's mind blowing. It is mind blowing. They have some of the best engineers on the planet, but y'all bringing in Chinese engineers. You got to be crazy. They the ones with the math. Engineering is nothing more than a high degree of mathematics and making that math work in your favor. That's what that is. These guys and gals can solve these equations like none other. And I just, again, all of that stupefies me. But again, as I just said to you, Lance, these people, yes, like you said, okay, well, there's people in power. Yes, because they have not decided that they're going to have allegiance to the people that looks like them. That's why. Because if they had that kind of allegiance, these other fashions would not be able to come in. They would only say, think about it, they would only say, we only want Black diasporans. Anybody else, we holler at you tomorrow.
And tomorrow never comes.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So I recognize that all the leaders are not for us. I recognize that.
Right.
But as I told you, the youth are not going to allow it to continue. Think about our system here think about our system in the U.S. because we're not here in the U.S.
Right.
But think about our system in the U.S. Our system allows, you have people serving in the U.S. House of Representatives who are in their 80s to keep the status quo. Why are we allowing this? Why? Our taxpayer dollars are funding this. And nobody says a word. People in my age group are still getting along to get along and want to tell me about how a Democrat is better than a Republican. I don't care nothing about none of them fools, okay? None of them. Because history on them have not been in my favor.
Totally.
So until you can prove that different, I'm not bowing down to either fashion. But it just goes to show you that we don't even usher in new blood to get the old fraudulent way of thinking out. And those same folks, especially your cousins over in the congressional Black Caucus, they ain't done nothing for Black folks. Not nothing, but take up space. Go home. What are you here for? Why are you even here? That whole system, it's just not designed in our favor.
It's not. And some people still swear by it.
Well, they can swear all day, but the facts remain, it is not in their favor. See, I can swear by something all day, but the receipts say different.
That's right. That's right.
The receipts say different.
There are people that I know that they get on me about this whole political thing in the vote, and it's going to make a difference, and this is going to make a difference with this, and this time it's going to make it. And I'm like, but they wouldn't turn around and support a movement that was totally disconnected from any political platform. For us, they wouldn't do it, but they will run and brown nose these individuals and this next white man or next Negropean who says this time around is going to be different. And they use the same tactics, going to the churches, kissing Black babies, having these pastors go up with some of these politicians, and the whole propaganda thing again. And then for the next 4 years, it's the same thing as usual. When are they going to learn? Like I always say, I don't care who the president is. I have to cut my lawn. I have to take care of my family. I have to make sure the bills are paid and the refrigerator is full. The president is not going to do that for me. Where do we get this thing from? I mean, why can't we do as we did post-slavery where we came out and we did for self. Yes, some of us had to turn around and come back to the very plantation we left. But all these inventions that were created and how ingenious we are and how smart we are, why do we feel that we need to be validated or be up under somebody else's system that doesn't serve us? I can do better on my own. I mean, let me shut up. I want to hear you.
But Lance, that is because some of us, again, are still drinking the Kool-Aid. As I told the guy that was on my show a while ago, I told him, listen, some of us right today in 2020, Jim Jones can get us. Oh, it's a whole bunch of us. Jim Jones can have us right. If he was alive and going over here and doing all that same mess that he was doing before, yes, baby, it'll be a slew of us over there that would have gotten got.
Yep. Because
we have that same mentality. No, real talk. That's real talk.
Yeah.
Of course, he fell out laughing. I'm like, that's serious. Because we continue to allow people to hoodwink us. It's just like, Lance, I'm on the countdown. I can't wait to get to my final place. And I'm coming. At the same time, as I said earlier, some of us, no, they're not going to go with us. They're not. Because they're mentally, they're not ready. I recognize that. But I would rather for you to stay behind and have to come over here and then get that, that 80 love. I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
Because that's what's going to occur at some point. And sometimes, like, one of my elders used to always say, stupidity will weed itself right on out.
It does every time. It hangs around for
and that's what that's what those unaware folks are going to do.
Yeah.
They are going to eventually weed themselves out. Now, some of them don't think that they are blind in that sense. So they'll come and do some mess, and then they're going to get called on it. They're going to get called on it. But the problem is that we suffer, Black people, we as Black people, as I said to the same gentleman, we are sick in America. I'm going to talk about America because that's basically my quote unquote birth land. Now, sure, I've been to the United Kingdom and have interacted with Blacks there as well. But I'm going to specifically talk about Blacks in America. We are sick.
Oh, yeah.
We are mentally sick. We are sick to the point that we think America is better than the place she's getting all her resources from. And the only reason why we're thinking that is because of the propaganda of the television. So, like, I remember, like, my grandmother would tell stories about how, like, when television sets and stuff came out, Lance, how people would be glued to that because, of course, this is a new invention.
Yes.
So you think about it. Somebody at some point said, with this new invention, we can control a narrative about everything all the time, everywhere.
Straight to the brain.
And that's pretty much what has been done. That's pretty much what has been done. And so some of us don't want to see the truth or be in the truth, but they want to be a part of their oppressors' lives. That 25-20, the 25-20, okay? The 25-20. You have brothers that cannot, and sisters who want to cross that line and not be one with the people that look like them because they think that it's better. And we all know for ourselves in suffrage that the only way you can keep a race going is through procreation. That's the only way you can keep it going. That's the only way.
No other way. So
when you do that, you basically dilute the bloodline, if you will.
Of course.
And it's not that because in my own family, I have some.
Right.
In my own family.
Yeah.
So it's not that I hate any, that's not it. It's not that I hate. No, I hate the practices that these folks do.
Right.
Now, if you want them and you don't hate the practices, then I got a problem with you too. So now, yeah, I might use the term hate, but I like using the word. I like using the word loathe. I loathe you. I think you are a cretin, a demagogue. So I can come up with other choice words to use about to describe these types of folks. But we are sick, Lance, and we think that they are better.
Yes.
We are. Think about it. We continue to fight each other behind Democrats. And I mean, I have to go back to this. This is especially right now, it's so divisive and you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the Democrat folks saying, well, they using Ice Cube for this. And then you got the Republican folks saying, well, they using Cardi B for this. It's the same play, different name.
Exactly.
Same play, different name.
Different name.
The key word that you don't realize is you're being used. And here's my thing. You don't, as a man or woman, some of us are so strong, we don't allow men to use us. We don't allow women to use us. So why are you allowing people from the 25-20 club to use you?
It's an honor in their mind.
Why? But you won't let me use you.
Right. But they're stepping up.
And I look like you.
It's an upgrade.
See, no, it's not an upgrade. That's not even leveling up because you ain't getting nothing.
Right.
You're not getting anything.
In their mind.
Well, I got a colleague I work with, older black guy. He's retired now, but he would always tell me, Lance, you're a legend in your own mind. So I guess that they're going to be a legend in their own mind with that. Because again, in your mind, you unless you produce a receipt to show me what you've gotten,
right,
I can't see it. Dr. Claude Anderson, with his books and everything, years ago, he talked about how the Democrats were going to use immigration to basically not depend on us anymore, because at some point realized we weren't going to keep on taking the abuse. Look what's happening right now. Mm-hmm. But y'all on the Democrat train. I ain't on the train. Most of your audience that's listening, they're probably parents. And I want you to consider this.
Yes.
Consider this. You have children, you don't send your children to school, wherever you send them, even when you're homeschooling or whatever. You don't tell your children to pick the lesser of an evil. You tell your children to stay away from evil. Right. So why are you all sitting around here telling people I got to pick a Republican or a Democrat? To me, that makes no sense. And you all can say, well, it's different. No, it ain't different. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. So no, don't come and tell me it's different. It's the same thing. The Democrats ain't giving you nothing. The Republicans ain't giving you nothing. They use employ tactics to make you think you got something. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, where you need to be putting your resources, your energy, and your time is on Mother Alkebulon. That's what you need to be doing.
Tell it.
Because you will get a far higher return on investment without the harassment and worrying about when your son leaves your home, that he will come back home alive versus being put in a black bag.
There you go.
Some of y'all need to wake up. Some of y'all too old to be asleep. Some of you all are too old to still think that the status quo is going to protect you and save you from everything that the US of A is giving you. Some of y'all too old for this. And our ancestors, the ones who were fighting for the right to vote, because, they love to put that out there, Lance. Well, they fought for the right to, what they fought for was a right to enact change, and change has not occurred. So stop it. They were fighting for the right to enact change. Now, I want you to lay the change out for me. You had the civil rights movement to give you all these voting rights, yet they continue to do gerrymandering and build private prisons to keep you from voting. But yet, I got the right to vote. See, stop. I'm sorry, Lance. I'm in here preaching. I'm sorry.
No, let it flow. Look. This is what I know about you. Let it flow. I'm loving it. And while people are loving it, please go to her channel and subscribe. Please subscribe to the Elizabeth channel on YouTube.
I'm just saying, sometimes, as I was telling a gentleman who's on my show as well, I asked him why he did not want to basically repatriate. And he said to me, and he's a world traveler himself, been on 6 continents too. And he said to me that America is his home. And even while he's traveling, he always misses home. And that's why hey, ain't no bad. Because I've been knowing Shauna for a minute. Hey, I applaud your honesty. As I said earlier, we all ain't going.
Right.
I can respect that.
Right.
No, I respect that. His honesty. You have to respect that. He ain't with it.
He's told you straight up.
Understood. Meanwhile, he asked me, why did I want to repatriate? And I told him, I want to be the change I want to see. That is a true statement. I know that people use this a lot, but using it and being it is 2 different things. I walk the walk and talk the talk.
Easy to talk.
I am not for any melanated folks around here that want to scam their fellow man. I am not for any melanated folks that wants to just be arbitrarily taking their fellow man out because they want what their fellow man has. I'm not with that. But what I am for is collectivism and building together. Because I recognize that as a melanated person, we are stronger in unison. Our own history that the 2520s dug up shows that. It showed it. It showed it. So that's what I have to go off of. I want to be the change I want to see. So I have to walk in my own truth to know where I'm supposed to be. America is a rat race. And we're constantly, I used to be in the cycle as well. You're constantly in this revolving circle that is really almost never ending.
Never ending.
And at some point, when do you decide you're done? You're tired.
Yes.
You're fed up.
When do you
had enough?
When do you get off that merry-go-round that never ends?
It never ends.
Exactly. It's like telling a child that the amusement park is 24 hours. And I want you to go there and spend as much time as you want. I'm going to give you all the money that you would need to get all the snacks and get on all the rides. And after a while, that child, even though they enjoyed the amusement park, they're going to want to come home after a while. And then when they start to walk out of the gate, that parent or that person over them said, no, turn back around, eat more snacks, get back on the merry-go-round, get back on the rides. But no, I want to come home. I'm tired. You see, so that's us. We think we're in heaven in these places, and we're on the merry-go-round that seems to never end. But we're reaching and reaching and reaching until we realize that merry-go-round is a treadmill and the carrot is dangling in front of us and we never get a chance to grab it. And so we die in motion running after something that never existed in the first place. I ain't playing that game. Exactly.
And so, again, as I said, some of us, Jim Jones could get us. I mean, it was so easy to hoodwink us and going and starting this up. I mean, you running up behind a 25-20, and you could have been running over at Kebulon. I'm just saying. I'm not running behind a 25-20. What I'm going to run to is right over here where I can see some beautiful black fine men every day.
Every day.
Yeah, because I'm single. So I'm single. I'm going to tell it. So I'm not running to go. I want to see the fine black men, the strapping lads. Yep. That's what I want to see. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be very honest about that. Okay.
And that's a very healthy thing.
Very honest.
That's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, listen. Lance, I did a story time a few days ago about how I fell in love on the continent. Okay. And it was to a Zulu man. And my life could have actually if I was mentally equipped for what was happening in Malawi, my life trajectory probably would, we would probably wouldn't even be talking to this day.
Wow.
Real talk. Real talk. Because I had met so many indigenous people that just were not patriots. You know, it's always, I'll say this, and you probably have experienced that since you've been there permanently in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
It is so heartwarming to meet a man or woman from Al-Kebulon,
Mm-hmm.
any of the 54 countries,
Mm-hmm.
that is a patriot.
Yes.
And you may say, well, that seems inconsequential. Well, it's not, because for us as Americans and people in the West, we view patriotism very high.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, you can be brought up for treason for crossing that patriotism.
So true.
So when I see that, it really, really, it warms my heart. And I saw that in him, and it was, oh my God, it was breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
For a person to say, listen, now I'll come visit you in America, but hey, I'm Zulu, I'm Malawian, I ain't coming up out of here. I'm gonna be at home with my people.
That's right. That's right.
You can't coerce me to get up out of here. So when you find, no, really, so when you find people like that, it really is, it's nice. It's nice and it's wonderful.
It strengthens your own
because
bones.
they do not.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Not that you're weak
and
now.
So again, say again?
Not that you're weak. It just reinforces something in you that's already there.
Yes. Yes. Totally. Totally. And pretty much that's how I felt. And again, when you find them that's patriots, you better stick to them like glue. I made the mistake 20 some odd years ago, but you can rest assured I won't make that mistake again. my youngness and naivete got me, but you can rest assured it won't be happening again.
Well, you've taken good care of yourself, and the youthful juices still flow through your being. And as long as you just keep doing what you're doing, you'll be okay. And I just want to say that even today, and I said it on the show the other day when Mr. SCURV was sitting right next to me, I said, I just couldn't believe how many beautiful people are here inside and out. You know, I mean, you know, you find imperfections here and there on different levels and different mentalities and different things, but just as it is by itself. And I told Mr. SCURV, I'm not lusting after the women here, but what they have mentally, physically, and spiritually here, that many don't even realize what they have. They're so awesome. And I see a lot of us that are in America, they have some of that and they're trying to quell it. They're trying to knock it down. I mean, like even today we went to the market and it was drizzling and we came back and I said, look at these wonderful people who are not even trying to add on in their mind, but they're taken away. They're not caught up in this, I got to do this to myself. And just as they are, they're so beautiful, so powerful, and you can't stop looking at them. Me as an artist, I love faces. I love to draw faces. I love expressions. And I see the power in them and just the way they walk and the way they talk. I mean, that oppressor wants to strip us of all of that. It's intimidating, I could see, to other people, but to me, it reinforces me and who I am.
Definitely. I totally understand it. I totally understand it. You know, I'm sure it was exhilarating for you, you know, because I just, again, I think about my first day getting onto that tarmac in Malawi and how I was just, when I was in such angst, not in a bad way, but I was so nervous and antsy just because I wanted to be where I was, and I couldn't believe I had actually finally gotten here. And, you know, again, we all have, Blacks in the diaspora, we have skill sets. We have ways that we can seriously contribute to where our ancestors came from. There's 54 countries. I'm not going to tell you which one to pick. Now, I can tell you, which I'll be doing, of course, in subsequent story times of ones, why I didn't pick certain ones. There are specific reasons.
Right.
My first choice, if you believe it or not, my first choice was Zimbabwe. Was Zimbabwe. You may ask me, wait, Liz, but why would you pick Zimbabwe? I picked Zimbabwe because I wanted to live under Mugabe. Okay? Because again, I consider Robert Mugabe to be a rider. I don't care what these other folks is talking about. So again, and then of course you saw how all that played out.
Yes.
So no, I wanted to experience that. I wanted to know what it felt like to live under a regime that was for Black people in the way that he was willing to go to bat for his own people. I don't know what that feels like, Lance.
Me neither. Not in America.
But in my mind, I know. But think about it as a kid too, when you dream, even as an adult, you know how we dream these dreams. And so you may have had a dream like that, but in reality, once you got to reality, you're saying to yourself, I wanted to experience that. Lo and behold, that was what? Of course, that eliminated my ambitions that I was ever going to be able to live under him, because even with them putting all these embargoes against Zimbabwe and all this, that, and the third, Lance, it definitely was something that, like I said, I wanted to experience, because I don't know what it's like to experience a Black man who's in office, living for his people every day.
Well, let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. Let's make that happen in our lifetime. Let's strive and support and be and exude and let the energy flow through us without restraint. It's there. So many of us have it there. It's just a matter of making that connection, that electrical, spiritual connection, and falling into the place that we have to fall in. I don't mean fall. The words are powerful, but the place is there for us to connect into. Let's go into that place. Let's create the history that we have to create now. That's going to be history for those in the future looking back. Instead of us just looking back right now and hoping for the future, let's get busy and do what we have to do now and make the changes drastically. Like many who saw me come over here. I didn't know you went to, are you coming back? Is it a visit? No, that time that I was there was a visit, even though it was 57 and a half years. This is the real home for me. Let's make the changes wherever we need to make it and bring it into fruition every single day. It has to be done. Sense of urgency. We're making history. Even this conversation is throwing out an energy that is creating history, because you are a doer. You didn't get to go to all these countries by being a talker. So for those in the future, they are just talking. Well, you, Elizabeth, you've gone to more places than just your job in the supermarket, in the church, and home in the same town for 25, 30 years. This is more than just talk. This is a meeting of minds. We're in the huddle right now. We're talking plans that many of us are going to execute. Some may not. But I don't know about anybody else. But I know about me, and after talking to you, I can know about you. We're making history. Let's keep making it happen. It will happen.
Totally. And like I said, my travels have aligned me with meeting some unique people from all walks of life. It has allowed me to form my ideologies and about a lot of things, because I've seen firsthand the debauchery that goes on worldwide. And no, I am not in the place where I am going to continue to be fake for the sake of whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of like where I am. But if you have something, I want to say this because I'll have to go so I can get to my next meeting here. But I want to say this, Lance, to all your listeners and the people who will catch this replay. And I know we had some bumps prior to getting started, so if you could bear with us, please.
It's okay.
What I want to say to you is that we, as Blacks in the diaspora, are being called. It's tugging on you somewhere to come home. In making your vantage or deciding to actually visit, however you decide to make this big transition, because it is huge, I recognize that. I've been nomadic for some time. What you do is that you make a plan. Then you make a secondary plan. And then you make what we call a contingency plan. Now, I've never been in the military, but the military folks always have a contingency plan. They have a contingency plan as a fail-safe to the two other plans. But get it done.
Yes.
Get it done. And if you are just coming to take, keep your black at home. Because you ain't, I want to see you take from the 25-20s. Now, when you start doing that, but you want to take from your own, don't do that. Be upstanding with your own.
Yes. Be
upstanding with your own, so that when you do look in the mirror, you will never have any regrets about that. None. None. So when you finally decide that you're closing your eyes permanently, it won't be for a life of shame. It can be for a life that was well lived, and lived by being righteous with your own people. Because the 25-20s are being righteous with they folks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time for you to be righteous with your own. It's time. So I bid you adieu, and I bid you farewell, Lance, and thank you for having me again.
I know you have to go, but please don't go. Please don't go. No, I know you have to go.
Difficulties.
Yeah. I want everybody to subscribe.
Definitely. We can definitely do it again at a different time of day, because I think that everything got caught up or whatever. But thank you for having me.
Yes.
And I appreciate it so much. Thank you to all of the listeners and everyone that's watching and all that have subscribed to the channel.
Yes.
Even if you don't subscribe and you go and watch the Repack Chronicles and Repack Conversations, they can be of value to you.
Yes.
You go on and let that be of some value to you. However that can help you. That's what I pledge. All right.
Yes.
And Lance, thank you again for having me. And yes. I feel great and grand.
You deserve it. And like I said, I want to say one more thing before you go. We have so many people who have come to the motherland and have erected YouTube channels, and they become the expert on this and this and that. And here we have you who have been here all over the world. And we got to get your numbers up. I don't understand. You are the real thing. I submit to you.
Yes,
I'll be coming to you.
Lance, listen, as I said to you when we talked in private, yes. I'm a little bit raw.
That's better.
People claim that they want the, yes, but people claim they want the real, they claim they want the truth, and then when they get it, they start complaining. Make up your mind. Exactly. Which is it going to be?
Exactly.
You want the real and the truth, or you want me to start lying to you? Because in 25-20 has been lying to you, but you ain't saying nothing about them. I'm just saying for the church, since y'all like church, for the church.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So anywho, yes, thank you. And you all have a good evening. And I appreciate you, Lance. I really, really do.
And you're coming back. Let me know when you're coming back. Anytime.
I sure will.
It's got to be regular. Okay?
I sure will.
All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. It's a pleasure having you. You have fed us, and we'll be appreciative of that forevermore. I know you're busy, and so we'll talk next time. We'll talk during the week, and we'll set something else up again. Please subscribe to her channel.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much.
This is Biddy. Take care.
Thank you.
Much love. Wow. Talk about powerful. Talk about powerful. Talk about real. Talk about shoot from the hip. She didn't have to read from any script. It just came naturally. This is what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm so hyped up right now. I was going to take a little nap. I might still do so, but she came at us with such rapid fire truth. I'm not going to hide. I'm right here. I'm going to show my face for a few minutes before I go. But these are the kind of conversations that we need to have. We can have fun, but these are the kind of real dialogues of people who have, you know, hands-on all over the world, all of these countries. Yet we have people who come here, usually from America, and they are the experts. If you want to learn about Africa, you have to come through me and I will teach you the right way. Come on. We all have something to offer if we stay real with ourselves and stop with the one-man upmanship. My thing, like I said, to our sister, Elizabeth, I take my hat off or my headphones off. Really, I don't need these on right now. I just show the complete head. No, I mean, seriously, it's, I submit to her. She has the expertise. I don't have that much of an ego anyway. It's conquered, and I want to do the right thing for my people. You know what I mean? It's a little hot around these nights. I'm in Africa right now, so we got that African heat. We're strong. We feel strong. I've been eating good food. I can't tell you enough. And it was raining today, like really bad. So I said, okay, I hope this doesn't mess with the power or the internet. I have a new bit of internet here that I'll be using. It stays in my pocket that I can go live anywhere. So look for live, clear live streams anywhere, wherever I go. I'm going to be experimenting with that tonight. And don't forget, we have our fun show tonight where we just going to let it all hang out. I'm not going to say comedy. That may kind of put pressure on us, but we're going to flow tonight and we're going to have fun. I'll say, we didn't say a set time, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to advertise it the same way because we tried to do it on Patreon last week. And for some reason, it didn't go out. Nobody can get on the chat room. I don't know how it works. I got to get somebody to help. I've been seeking out help. Hasn't come back yet, but I want to do it the right way. So it's still going to be free. And those who have supported will get to see it. And those who haven't should get the free ride. But the bottom line is that we share. It's wonderful, you know. No disrespect, skin looks clearer. Well, if you're talking about me, thank you so much. That can never be disrespect. I'm being purged of all the impurities that America has put into me for my indulgence in living there. Yeah, lamps. We got some more stories, right? Lamps? I want lamps. He's standing around the lamps, right? So I'm not going to hide tonight. I'm going to show my face because the jokes come by a little faster in the rapid fire talk. I'm going to rest up a little bit. I might do a free-flowing live stream before then. Something's in my head to come out. Maybe I'll go out. It's still lit up outside. I'll go and do a little video or whatever and come back on in. But we're going to have some fun tonight. I just want to say that I love you all and take care. And we will be back. And leave your comments, spread the video, share the video, like it, and all that good stuff. You know exactly what to do. And I want to welcome all the new subscribers here because it's growing. Things are growing. And somebody likes it. You know, I'm not into bashing other people. I'm into the raw, real truth and putting the work in. But if you come at me the wrong way, like I always say it, I'm going to steamroll you with these big fists I got. Yes, they're big. Look next to my big head. They're still big and they're still strong, right? But it's more so what's in my head, the whipping that I can put on a person's head. And it's all love. I'm all for my people. And I will give the shirt off my back. And I'm very passionate about our ascension and working things out. There's some disagreements out there, some misunderstandings that were put out there by the oppressor. And it's our job to sort that out. Others who come with the negativity or doomsayers or say certain things can't happen, all I'll say is watch us and stay tuned because we're always going to come with the positivity, but we're never going to take the bull crap. You hear me? So anyway, much love. We'll be back in a few hours soon. Take care. Much love. LANCESCURV out.